I'm talking this way.
As much as possible, but if you have side comments, I don't see any issue with that. It's just slightly more echoey.
Okay.
But
Go ahead and hit record.
Yep, go ahead.
Hey guys, this is Jason here. I am a licensed hairstylist, have been since 2009. I started doing hair before that, sort of like I was forced into hair. My experience is probably more like 23 years, but I've been licensed for about 14. So one thing I specialize in is extensions and blonding, to be the second thing I specialize in. Reason for those two things, I was taught blonding at a very young age, started using it on myself. Eminem was cool back then and short hair, so had to blonde myself up. But anyways, I got good at blonding. I figured out how to fry hair, take it to the limit, fry it a little bit. And then I learned ultimately how not to fry hair. Blonding is one of the hardest things, I believe, because of that aspect. If you leave it on too long, especially in a foil, you're going to get fried hair. It's going to stretch. The elasticity is going to be gone. So, having that experience made me excel very well when I actually did go get my license in 2009. And I excelled in class, doing some of the instructor's hair actually before I left school because of my blonding experience. So, you can slap color on hair and that might be, hard for some people because of the undertones, the green undertones, the violet undertones that will catch you if you aren't familiar with your client's hair. It'll pull green, it'll pull red, orange. So you have to be familiar with color as well. But blonding is one of the things I love doing because I have so much experience with it, and a lot of people come to me for, getting their hair fixed after it's been torched by someone else. Extensions is something I learned also right out of the gate. After being licensed, I had a rep come in and show me I-tip extensions, which I believe are superior. You might not agree with me, but I feel they are because I found them to be the least amount of damage to the hair because they are I-tip. You slide it up into a bead, you crimp it. When the client comes back, they, basically you open up the bead, slide the hair out, and you comb out the little bit of dreading that's happened, and voila, you're done. There's no tape-in glue. There's no oil to remove the tape-in glue. I feel tape-ins are very hard on the hair, and a lot of my clients agree with me after they switch over to I-tip. K-tip is another one that is pretty popular. It's the hot press with, the K-tip extension. I feel dissolving that is a little bit hard on the hair as well. Not a bad option, but, and then we talk about the wefts. Wefts are new and awesome. I like them because it's basically what I do, the I-tips, and then you do a row of them, and then you can just sew the weft into the hair. I feel that wefts are harder to hide in some cases. That's why they went to the hand-tied wefts, which are a little bit thinner, and they do make sense for a little bit, better hiding of the extension base. So awesome technology that's coming out with hair and extensions, and it's all good things. We're learning as we go. So this segment I'm actually going to break into, I call the 10 Commandments of Hair. I created it myself. I believe that they are just they are good advice for people on how to take care of their hair, because I feel that is a big thing that people lack, is just education on taking care of their hair while having extensions or while getting blonded, mostly in my realm of what I do. So for that reason, I created this, little savior, if you will, on how to take care of your hair. The first one is shampoo. A lot of my clients are over shampooing. So my first commandment would be not to shampoo. When I say this to my clients, not using shampoo. And I say that, and clients look at me like I'm crazy, but I am. They're correct. I'm crazy because I just I like to go extreme with things. I like to learn why things don't work, why they do work, and if that makes me crazy, so be it. But not using shampoo, I will say I don't fully live by this saying. I just want it to be in your head, kind of shockingly, like I put it, stop using shampoo. The reason why I do that is because a lot of shampoo and conditioner companies, they use alcohol as their first or even second ingredient. Most of the time it's second or third ingredient. Now we know that alcohol dries you out. I mean, when you drink it, you get hydrated. It's going to do the same thing to your scalp. It's going to dehydrate your scalp. So what that then does is it tells your scalp, oh, I'm dry. I need to produce more oil. Okay. So when your scalp gets in this repetitious cycle of being dry, fighting that dryness and producing more oil, you have a problem because now your scalp is going to produce more oil every time you wash. So if you wash 3 times a day or a week, then your scalp is going to be in a production of creating oil 3 times a week. So your scalp is going to be oily if you don't wash. Yes, that's going to happen. So the reason why I say stop using shampoo or not using shampoo at all, and it works for some people, it doesn't work for others, is because the less you shampoo, the less that oil is going to be activated, so to speak. That will, and dandruff is what we get from having a dry scalp and oil overproduction. So that is what dandruff is. It's oil meeting alcohol and creating a flake because your scalp is dry and the oil is pushing that flake up and it's now flaking off. So you've now created a problem where you need dandruff shampoo, so to speak, right? Or how that's what they want to happen. So by not using shampoo, you get a couple of benefits. You get the benefit of your scalp not overproducing oil, which is great because then you can go a few days without shampooing or without getting that oily effect. And, I have other techniques that will help reduce that oil better than shampooing it off. So I'll get into that in a second. You have different options as far as not shampooing goes. You can just use hot water. And I like those little scalp palm brushes. I wish I had one, but they're very small, kind of like a barbering brush. And you're just going to use that in the shower to get that oil away from your hair, away from the scalp where it's annoying. So by doing that, you get it down to the mid shaft, which is here, and somewhat to the ends if you do it right. So I like to brush in hot water, brush those oils away from the scalp. They'll get down to the mid strand, and then you can use a brush or even conditioner and brush those oils down to the ends where they never get. The reason why I get a lot of extension clients referred to me is obviously because I've been doing it for so long, but I'm very passionate about this. I'm very passionate about saving hair, saving people's hair. And, I think the key is building that cuticle up. So a lot of my clients will come to me and they say, yeah, my hair won't grow past a certain length. And I'm like, no, that's not, accurate. Your hair is always growing. You're always getting your roots retouched, right? Yes. We are always bringing the blonde back up. But the reason why your hair isn't growing past a certain length is because it's breaking off. You're using hot tools to curl your hair. Hopefully you're using a thermal protectant. We'll get into that. But you're using hot tools to curl your hair. You're using a flat iron to straighten your hair to get that texture right, especially if you have extensions. If you're not using a thermal protectant, you're doing yourself a disservice because you're breaking your hair even faster. But what's happening is those oils that you're washing away, they actually create the cuticle that is that clear coat for your hair that prevents it from breaking. So by not shampooing, and this is my main point, is you're not shampooing off this clear coat that's going to protect your hair. So that oil has protein in it, which when it gets down to where your hair is breaking, it will protect your hair from yourself. Thermal protectants, they do a little bit of that. I mean, obviously that's what we have. That's what we're using. You know, these nice sprays that smell really good. You know, they don't have the same thing that's going to bind to your hair to protect it. It's going to add slip and glide. So you can slip and glide and it smooths and coats and does all these nice things on your hair. But it's not the natural oils that have that protein in them that actually coat your hair and make that clear coat from it not breaking. So your hair is growing. We know that. Your hair is breaking. We know that because you're shampooing off those oils every single, 3 times a week. Sometimes I hear every day, well, I go to the gym, I work out, I sweat. I'm like, yeah. And those oils that are coming out of your head, those are great oils. So when you get home, use that palm brush or that fine tooth comb and brush those oils down with that hot water and get those oils to where they never get mid-strand and end where you're always curling, especially right in the front. All of my clients have the same issue, short bangs, because they've been breaking them off, curling them, doing a little Farrah Fawcett curl with their curling irons and the round brushes. It's all broken off here, short bangs. I see it all. I mean, mostly you work with blondes and extension clients. So that's what I see. And that's why I created this, and that's why I'm giving you this information because I care. So not using shampoo, we have the benefit of, more oils getting to where they need to be, which is the mid-strand, not mid-strand, and the ends. So more oil to the mid-strand and ends creates that cuticle that's going to protect your hair. It's a protective oil cuticle. So this is number one on my list because if you're protecting your hair from shampoo and using those natural oils, they're your friend. That's going to be the best thing you can do for your hair. A lot of people I talk to that I give this advice to, they come back to me and they're like, thank you so much for, that advice. I had no idea that I was over shampooing for one, but that was the reason why my hair was breaking. Look how long my hair is getting, and I love hearing those stories because I feel good about the fact that I helped somebody not only save money, now you're not blowing through, buying Costco shampoo by the gallon and your whole family's just blowing through it. Now you're not even using shampoo that much. You're saving your kids' hair. Also, your husbands that are thinning hair. I would say one of the main reasons why you get these thinning cul-de-sac patches on your hair is because you're drying your scalp out. Your alcohol is the second ingredient in these shampoos, and so that's going to create an issue for men as well, not just women with long hair. So I'm probably going to be assassinated by the shampoo and conditioner companies by saying this, not using shampoo. I believe there are better choices of shampoo. I use shampoo once in a great while too, because I get a buildup of oil, and you're going to get a buildup of oil too. And that's going to make your hair less voluminous like you want it to be. I understand these issues. So I'm going to say there are better options, and I will throw those in a link at the bottom for you to choose those better options. I'm not going to shout them out right now, but there are better options for shampoo. Just use it less, let's say. Okay. I've used the shock factor. I've said stop using shampoo. You guys are all shocked. But the truth is you're going to use shampoo still. So please don't assassinate me. Whatever shampoo company is watching this right now and upset. Okay. So number two, I would say thermal protectants every time. Let's write that down. Thermal protectants. If you are a woman that wants to have better hair and you are, or a man with long hair, we'll say, and you're curling your hair, you're styling it, and you're not using a thermal protectant, you're frying your hair. Thermal protectants are, like I said, they're going to add slip and glide. They're going to coat your hair with these nice silicones that help it slide. But what it's basically going to do, it's going to cook off the thermal protectant before it cooks your cuticle, these hot tools that we're using. So use a thermal protectant every time you use a curling iron. Every stroke of the flat iron, spray that group of hair. Don't just use a thermal protectant and go on your hair and think that you covered everything and it's halfway wet, and then you start to cook your hair. You need to dry it mainly first. Run the blow dryer through it, dry it, but then use a thermal protectant on each and every section that you are about to style. I've seen, again, my clients use a thermal protectant and they just kind of do what I said. They just kind of spray around their head and they think they covered everything. Would be awesome if you could do that. But, it's better to actually use up your thermal protectant. So unlike shampoo where you're just going to use it every now and then, once you get that oil production to stop producing so much, you won't have to use shampoo as much. You're not going to use as much as of this product. This product, I would say, use religiously, because if you're doing this shampooing or if you have damaged hair already, then the best way to get it back is to stop damaging it as much as you have been. So thermal protectant, get a good one. I'm not going to show which brand this is because I've got it turned around, but that this is one of the better of the thermal protectants out there. And use that puppy, spray it on each section. Use your good tourmaline flat irons, your ceramic ionic, all this technology we have now for these flat irons and curling irons, your wands. Like, get a good one. Don't just go to a grocery store and pick up your flat iron there. Get a good one. You can get them for cheap still in these various places that I've seen them. You can still get a good brand. I can put these good brands down in a link so you know which ones they are. And the basic number 2 gist is use that thermal protectant every time. Use it up. Okay. So let's jump into, I kind of combined number 1 and number 2. Number 2 would have been natural oils. So I kind of have it in there. This would be 2, which is natural oils, more oils to mid-strand and ends. Those are your friends. So I don't know how that's quite a commandment, but number 3, let's say that number 3 is thermal protectant. And let's jump into number 4. Like I said, ionic, tourmaline tools are great, but a round brush, learn how to use one of these. This is number 4, a round brush. So I will do a video on how to style your hair with a round brush. It is not easy, but I have taught people how to do it, so I know it can be done. I taught several of my clients how to use a round brush, and basically by having a good round brush that is ceramic and ionic, you're going to be able to dry your hair in a way that is going to smooth it out. For one, it's going to give it that great smooth texture that everyone's looking for without using a flat iron. It's going to cook your hair. So get a good blow dryer. Same thing, ionic blow dryer mixed with the ionic ceramic. I mean, all this technology isn't just being created for no reason. They're doing it because it's helping with hair. It's sliding through the hair. You can tell when you have a good round brush or not. This is a good one. This one will slide through your hair with heat. You're going to do this motion. You're going to do this motion with the round brush and the blow dryer, and you're going to smooth out your hair. The reason why I like round brushes is because it is going to give you volume when you style your hair. So why do we want volume? Because bigger is better, right? Bigger is better with hair. I don't care if you're from Texas, Idaho, California, New Jersey. You want volume in your hair. Everybody does. I mean, it just looks good when it looks great, right? It's volume. So round brush is going to give you volume. If you use it correctly, it's going to give you volume here where you want it, right through the middle of your hair when it's going, you know, all these girls are flipping their hair. You see them flipping their hair. They see a hot guy. They want to flip their hair. They want to make it look like they have volume, like it's not flat. There's a reason, because volume is king. So these sections up here where I say stop using shampoo and more oils, it comes down to round brush is going to move this oil. It's going to move this oil to the mid strand and end. So this round brush is going to help you move the oil, give you volume, and move that oil to the mid strand here and down to the end, because you're going to learn how to use this thing to move the oil. So once you get good with a round brush, you will get better at not using shampoo. And the reason is because you're going to use this round brush after you've simply dried your hair with a blow dryer. You're going to blow dry it. You're going to kind of get all the water out. It's still going to be a little bit damp, but you're going to get good at using this to smooth out your hair and move this oil away from your scalp. Now, because you didn't shampoo, there's still going to be that oil, that little bit of oil, but you're going to use the round brush to move the rest of that oil to the mid strand and ends. It all comes together. Okay. You can spray it with a thermal protectant, and that's going to give you that nice slip and glide. With the round brush, I'll even use my thermal protectant, and I'll even spray it right on my round brush, okay, before I do my client's hair. And I will spray that so I get that smooth glide with the round brush everywhere that I use it. And it's going to grab that oil, and it's going to move it down where you want it, where you need it, where your hair is breaking, where you're always complaining about your hair breaking, especially in the bangs. I know you women can get good at using a round brush right here because it's right in your face. You know what I mean? Or men, if you're using a round brush, right here is the easiest place to use it. Yeah, it's going to be tricky doing it back here, but I will do a video and I will show one of my clients right then and there how to use a round brush. And it's going to be awkward, but it's going to work. And once you get good at it, your hair is going to get amazing. So I can guarantee you that. I've seen it happen a million times. So 10 commandments of hair is what we're talking about. If you just joined us a little bit ago, not using shampoo. If that's shocking you, there was a reason behind it. It's not using shampoo because it's got alcohol as one of its first ingredients, second ingredient. It might be, you know, up there in whatever shampoo or conditioner you're using. It's up there. Alcohol dries you out. So moisture, we'll do a little moisture drop there. It kills that. Okay. So yes, you can use shampoo once you get a buildup of oil on your hair and you know, it's laying flat. It's not going to do anything. That's when you get a buildup of oil on your hair. I will use a shampoo when that happens, and I'll just use probably a pea-sized drop, work it in my hands, and then just work it right here in the middle of the scalp where that oil tends to be most visible and is the most annoying, is right here through the middle, men. That's the only place you need to use shampoo, by the way. You can literally use four fingers, 8 fingers, work that in right there and let that shampoo wash down to the rest of your hair. You do not need to be scrubbing this part of your hair with shampoo because this part of your hair doesn't have oil on it. I can guarantee you it doesn't. Unless you've been moving that oil down to there, okay? But usually your hair is nice and shiny up at the top, and it's really dull right here because it never gets any oil because you're always washing it off of here. So not using shampoo is more like rarely. You know, once you get used to not using shampoo, your scalp will not produce as much oil. It stops producing as much oil. And then you won't have dandruff because you're not mixing alcohol with oil, which creates dandruff. We said that earlier in the video. More oil to your mid-strand and end is number 2, natural oils. Natural oils. Those are your friend more than any shampoo that says it has protein in it. Because if a shampoo says it has protein in it, it's probably the wrong size protein. And that's where you get the term over-proteinization, which is, it can't happen. You can't over-proteinize something that already is protein. You can get a buildup of protein. Okay, this is going to simulate a brick wall. Okay, so if I have, these are all filled in bricks, by the way. If I have a hole in the brick wall and I'm a mason and I come by and I see, oh, there's a brick missing here, there's a brick missing here. Let's pretend this is our hair, okay, for a second. If I have a missing brick basically, and that's the cuticle gone, what do I have to do to replace this hole where the brick was? If I'm a mason, what's the only thing that'll fit in this hole? Another brick, okay? So if I have a protein that isn't the same size as this hole, because this shampoo company said, oh, we have wheat protein, but the wheat protein isn't the right molecular size. It's that size, and it covers up that hole where the brick needs to be. You've just created over-proteinization, okay? And it's not possible because, over-proteinization is impossible because, like I said, you can't over-proteinize something. If it gets enough protein, the protein will just slough off. If you have the wrong type of protein, it will kind of get jammed in that hole and it will sit there and it won't fix the problem because now it's covering the hole and the oil that you like now can't get into this hole, okay? Now the natural oils, and that's why I say natural oils are your friend, because they fill these gaps perfectly. The oil that's coming out of your head has the right size protein. So when you get it mid-strand to ends, get this oil mid-strand to ends, now your hair looks shinier. Now your hair isn't breaking because it has cuticle. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. Wrong type of protein. If a shampoo company says, oh, we have protein, it's not the right molecular size. I do know a company that makes a protein that is similar. It uses cashmere protein, okay? This company came out with a shampoo that uses cashmere protein. That's goat's wool. It is very similar to human hair molecularly, and it will fit in that hole better. So I can give you that down in the link. If you're watching this video, I will provide that in the link below. So this is a brick wall where we need to sort of just pretend that this is a hair, piece of hair, and we're trying to fill, with protein. The round brush, we'll go back to that. That's going to smooth out your hair. And combined with the thermal protectant, you're going to smooth out your hair and create a better smoothing technique versus using a flat iron or a curling iron. Obviously you can't get, well, actually I can get, if I use a smaller round brush, I can get a nice curl, but that's going to be really hard to do for you on your own. I understand that curling irons are important, and so are wands and flat irons that curl as well. But use a thermal protectant religiously when you use those because you will protect your hair from cooking off the cuticle, okay? That's protecting your hair from being broken. So to wrap this all up again, we've got the round brush being the fourth commandment. Use a round brush with the thermal protectant to give you more volume. That's going to give you more volume at the scalp level. That's going to bring the natural oils, down to the mid-strand and ends. And we're not going to have to use shampoo as much because we are doing everything else right. And we are preventing putting alcohol on our hair when we really didn't need to in the first place. If you want the rest of these commandments, I'm going to keep recording. I will put them in a link down below that you can get access to the rest of these commandments. We only had time for 4 right now. I appreciate you watching. And my name is Jason. I've been licensed for 20 years. I'm in Portland, Oregon, doing hair. So if you are in the area, look me up. Thanks for taking your time to watch the video.